Hey Jim here. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing pretty good. Went and shot this arrow last. I shot the black one. The first black one actually broke. It veered off, as you'll see. Well, you won't see that one, but you'll see the blue one, blue tipped one, veer off and hit the metal frame of the stand behind the target stand. Um, and one of the blades shave off. You'll see it hit the floor in slow motion. So I went ahead and put this one back together. I took it all apart, which is not hard to do, and I screwed it back on there really tight, so that way they're in there again. There's no serious wobble or anything. Some of the blades are folded over. The blade edges are folded over a little bit. You can take a small file, fine file, and black stone that I have somewhere around here. I know I got it somewhere. Anyway, it's and hone it back down a little bit, stroke it a little bit, if you will, so that way they're sharper instead of dull. These are good penetrators. I knew that these would be good for penetration, but I wasn't sure about the fletchings allowing it to go through. This fletching is damaged. I'll glue this back on here shortly, and so is that one. Okay. Oh wow, the whole thing's broken. I didn't even notice that because it folds back over real nicely. So I'll just be gluing all this down. I do have some more fletchings to put on these, but I don't have a jig yet. I'm gonna have to get me a jig. I've been lazy on ordering stuff. So once I get that ordered, I'm gonna seriously shave a lot of this stuff off and put some plastic veins or vinyl, if you will. These are veins. They're really, nobody calls them fletchings anymore, because if they're not feathers, they're not fletchings. So these veins here will be replaced, and we'll see how well that works out. I'll just do one, try it out at long range and about 40-50 yards, and then see how well that works out for me. So the penetration testing, why we do it is so that way you see the performance of the broadheads, the arrows, the fletchings, the nocks, see what happens to the shaft. Um, no significant damage to this one. It's a 350 spine. The other one's a 500 spine, so it actually broke in two places. I'll go ahead and put a picture of that when I in this video after this segment, so that way you guys can see the damage done to that one specific shaft. And that's just hitting the metal on the target stand. So that's the thing about some of these things will not take that type of abuse. This did really well. But this is a penetrating point right here. It comes down to a very fine cone point that would be sharp enough to penetrate most hide. So you're looking at something like a bear, an elk, a moose, buffalo. The buffaloes have very thick hides. Yeah, you would have to have a very fine point blade in order just to penetrate it and get the buffalo to go down, which weirdly enough, they do go down pretty easily once you get past the hide. It's hard to explain. It's almost like deflating a big balloon that has a big chunk of leather over it. Uh, yeah, so without, I don't think I'll ever be able to get into actually hunting a buffalo. That would be cool, but right now we're just going to stick with the local whitetails and some of the coyotes that are out coming in and killing all the cats. So I just had to bury one. A friend of mine, my ex-wife, who I'm still friends with, had one of her cats die, get chewed up. So we presume that it's a coyote because once they heard the ruckus and they went out to check, as soon as they hit the door, the whatever it was scooted. So that's typical coyote behavior. In the cities, when they hear noise, they run off because the very few of them stick around unless they're so brazen that we're used to close human being in the area of a human being, that it wouldn't run off. But this one, whatever it was, ran off. So dogs normally don't run off. They stand up there proud as all get out. I've seen that too from dog behavior. But anyway, getting back to this, we do the penetration testing so that way you guys don't have to, because if you have 10,000 people doing penetration testing with arrows, um, yeah, that becomes a problem. I have the ability to do that here at the house. I also have a yard to do it in, a park to go to and shoot on the back of the park where there is no one, and also a couple other places out in the country. Good weather. I mowed today. This will be the last time hopefully I have to mow, so long as the weather is supposed to go down in temperature wise after this. It was already 55 degrees when I was outside, and it's only 207 now. It's 58. So, yeah, all kinds of fun. Good weather to go shooting. It is a little breezy out, but today's test was what I wanted to do and get done. I wanted to see the arrow pass all the way through, but it did damage the fletchings on this. So that's the one thing. It's a takeaway. There will be damage to the arrow in such tests. We will get some ballistic gel for the mechanical broadhead, so you can see those open up in the ballistic gel. I still have the ballistic head. I haven't even tried that with that, but it's pretty chewed up from all the other. I mean, I actually did a very long video with every broadhead I had in shooting the gel head, but it was anticlimactic for a lot of them. The rope cutter didn't go through, barely stuck in there. The fire basket took a big chunk out, but only went in about that far. The other ones like this penetrated pretty deep. Now that I have a 60-pound bow, it would probably be a little better, but that remains to be seen. So I like coffee and maybe 3 people. Nice shirt, isn't it? So anyway, you guys watch the videos. I got a short. Check that out. It shows you the video. I'll still run the short videos in this segment and take a picture of the wonderful, well, or a short video of the wonderful damage to the other arrow shaft, and show you guys how that works. So 60-pound Mandarin duck, left-hand recurve. I shoot in a Slavic draw, so I'm shooting it from the right hand. As I said, I've modified the hand grip so that it works for me, instead of being, you know, more adaptable for the left hand. It's more adaptable for the right. I would say just smooth it out a little bit more right here along this ridge, and it feels good now. I don't have any hand related stress down the middle of my thumb muscle here. That was really painful the next day. I didn't even realize it. I couldn't figure out why is my hand hurting, and then it dawned on me when I went to go grab the bow that it was hurting where the ridge made contact with the hand. So it's one of those things. You always get a bow, or when you get a bow, you always modify it to your comfort. And these bows do not come in one size fits all. So it doesn't matter what bow you get. Some of them will come in and they'll be just fine, and you won't have to do anything. Mostly, you will have to do some type of modification. So I'm the left-handed bow. I shoot right-handed. I have these finger protectors here, so that way I don't have to really put too much on when I'm shooting, because the more gear you have on, the more less comfortable it is, and the fact that you have to work around so many different obstacles. So I want to feel the bow in my hand, the string, the arrow. If I put a glove on, I'm not going to be able to do that. I could put a glove on this hand to help with the comfort and the grip, but for this warmer weather that we're having, it's fine. And this is why I haven't gone hunting yet. It's not been optimum. Although if I were to drive my car after dark, right at dusk, I probably would most likely hit a deer. There have been so many deer hit reports in the past week and a half. I mean, I open my Facebook app and I go to the scanner page for this area, and they just blotter this, blotter that for all the deer hits. 1050 PI, traffic accident, personal injury. That the car hit a deer. Some of them hit deer and the deer were still able to run off. and they were searching for a wounded deer. DNR getting involved and all that good stuff. So it's a hassle this time of year when you're out driving, but most people go out and they go deer hunting and they don't get anything, they don't see anything because they're in the middle of the field and most of the deer are hanging out near the street, obviously. So that being noted, I mean, check out the short. You guys will see the damage to the Febreze can. I use a Febreze can that when you spray it, nothing comes out. It's got a little bit of pressure in there. So that way, like with the tennis ball can, I hadn't opened the container at all, and when I first hit it, it popped so loud it sounded like a pistol going off, and that was really it's a good thing I'm the only one in the house. So there was no alarm for that. I mean, if somebody would have been walking by, they would have thought I would have been up here shooting a gun or something like that, which would never be the case in the city anyway. So you're looking at a lot of variances when you do these penetration tests. So I will be getting another thing of tennis balls, and I will be using these. I will use a different arrowhead on this. I'll mark this one. Well, the fletchings are going to give it away that this one's already damaged. So I'll wait until I get the jig and I'll put some fletchings on that, so that way, or some vanes, some vinyl that I have, and try that out and see how well that works out for me and go from there. So you guys stay safe, stay alive, prepare, and we'll see you on the next one. Hey, Jim here again for this. Real quick, I'll shoot a quick video on this. This is the two places in which this arrow bent, and it's only being held on by this black covering over the carbon fiber. So yeah, I mean, everything else is still good on it, but this right here, I mean, these two, that's where it bent. This was the original head on it. I did bend, the front of it was folded over. I've already hit it with a file, and then I stroked it with a whetstone and sharpened it back down a little bit. So this would be better for penetrating flesh. So I'm gonna go out and get me a pork shoulder or something like that and see how well that does on that. See if it breaks off into bone maybe, because this is getting thinner and thinner as I have to sharpen it down and fold the metal back over, take the burrs off. So yeah, damage to the arrow from hitting a metal frame for the target rest or target stand.